Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. I get a lot of people asking me how we were blessed to walk away from corporate America in our early 30s. Well, listen, I don't want to keep that a secret. I want to share it with the world. And so maybe you're listening to this podcast and you're trying to figure out, how do I even get started on my journey of entrepreneurship and getting to a level of freedom? Well, text the word freedom to 737-777 9909. Enter your information in, and we look forward to sharing some information with you. A proven system with small overhead, right? That you can do part-time, spare time, right from the comfort of your home, and have amazing mentors, coaches, and a community of entrepreneurs who are willing to support you and help you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to Code Freedom. This is your host, Eddie Bales, and this is episode 226. And today, we're actually going to talk about business matters. We're going to talk about why your business won't grow without this. There's this one thing that is highly important as a business owner. And why be a business owner? Because we know that that's one of the number one ways to creating freedom. Because if you're working for someone else, don't get me wrong, that's how you start, but that's not how you want to end up. Typically, when you're working for someone else, you are getting paid far less than what you're bringing to the company. So if you have skills, why not bring that same value to your own company and be able to earn the income that's being made versus earning a percentage of it? Does that make sense? So maybe you start a business that's totally unrelated to the job that you have. Doesn't matter. The same kind of holds in terms of being able to provide the value and actually getting rewarded because you're actually willing to take the risk versus not taking the risk at all. That way you earn profits rather than wages. But here's what we want to talk about today. Yesterday, or today actually, was the Super Bowl. And of course, you know, Kansas City beat the Philadelphia Eagles, and so we know that. But you know me, I'm always looking at some of the other details that is worth noting. And so I just wanted to, a fascinating fact that I had no idea is that, Rihanna performed for the halftime show. And I didn't know that Rihanna didn't get paid for the halftime show. You'd think so, right? I mean, here's a billionaire performing in front of all of the world and she's not getting paid. We know the Super Bowl is bringing in a ton of money, whether it be all the ads from the TV shows, the ads and all the different things that happen, all the people who showed up and all the other things that come around it. However, they didn't get paid. She didn't get paid. But then I did some digging and I found out nobody gets paid to do the Super Bowl, right? So you might ask, well, why do they do it? And this is it right here. This is something that just, I'm so blown away. Grant Cardone says this: as a business owner, you're not succeeding because either number one, not enough people know you, or number two, they forgot that they know you. And I never forgot that. I heard him say that in Nashville on stage at an event that I was at, and I just never forgot that. And so, why would Rihanna, Dr. Dre, and The Weeknd from last year, and Jennifer Lopez and Shakira, Lady Gaga, Mary J. Blige, and so many others that have done the halftime show? Well, it's about exposure, right? It's all about exposure because they're now in front of millions and millions of people all across the country, all across the world, really, because there are other people who watch the Super Bowls in other countries, right? So they have all this. It's really free press if you really think about it. Now, some people, Super Bowl, they ended up coming out of pocket. Like Dr. Dre came out of pocket about 7 million, right? And for Jennifer Lopez and Shakira, it ended up costing 13 million. Now, I don't know how much of that 13 million that they paid, but sometimes there is a cost, but it's a worthwhile cost, and I'm gonna tell you why. Here it goes. So Let's, we don't know what the results are yet because Rihanna just performed, but let's look at Dr. Dre. Um, Dr. Dre and The Weeknd. Well, let's look at Jennifer Lopez. Let's start there. She got 2.3 million more followers on her social media platforms. um, Lady Gaga had 1,000% increase in her streams and her sales. And same thing with Dr. Dre, The Weeknd, all the people who performed for that. Mary J. Blige, her album sales jumped 999% after her performance at the Super Bowl. Dr. Dre's was like 183%. Snoop was about 361%. There's a lot of factors that go into that, right? So I won't go all the way into that. But all I'm saying is the exposure is amazing, right? Everyone who's performed at the Super Bowl, they had so much incredible press, so much incredible exposure that sales would go through the roof. Now that's a lesson in and of itself because once you get this exposure, you want to have things that people can buy, right? You want to have product and services and goods and things of that nature that you could actually share. But obviously, if you're in business, you already have that. But that's key to make sure that you have maybe multiple things that you can offer so that if they don't like this, they like that. Maybe they don't like this song, but they like some of your other songs, right? So having a little bit of a variety of products and goods and services that you can offer to them. But again, my whole message here, my whole point today is that as a business owner or an entrepreneur, we have to get exposure. We have to have constant exposure. And there's never been a time like today to get exposure where, you know, if you think about it, when a TV show is on, what do people do? They kind of, some people even mute the TV and then just scroll through their phone, right? So people are on their phones all day, every day, and now you have free access to getting in front of them. Have you ever wanted to invest in the stock market, but you just didn't know which platform to use? Well, there's an easy app that I like to use. It's simple and it's free. It's called Robinhood. And if you go into our show notes, you actually can click on the link. You can set up an account. Again, it's free. And when you do that, once you set it up, you actually can get a free stock just for being a Code Freedom listener. And so, look, you can do short term trading, long term trading. You can buy options, and there's so many other little different things that you can do. So take advantage of it today, and let's get you on your course to investing. Have you ever wanted to invest in the stock market, but you just didn't know how? That's exactly where I found myself. Is I just didn't know what to pick it, when to sell it, all of that good stuff. But I found an online community. I've been with this community for about a year now, and I love it. It's amazing. They discuss things like generational wealth, stock options, investing, business strategy, and so much more. So, online community that will support, encourage, and hold each other accountable to achieving goals and striving for greatness. So we talk about things like get money and buy income, but how do you buy income? What do you buy? Well, these are the types of things that we talk about in this community, and I think you'll enjoy it. So if you'd like to be a part of it, you get a special link. It's bit.ly /wealth squad 3. That's bit.ly /wealth squad 3. And you get a chance to be a part of this amazing community. And let's grow together. The key is a couple things: being consistent and also doing some things that could be catchy enough where you could get in front of them, being catchy enough where you do stop their attention. So when someone's going down the scroll hole, as I like to call it, and they're scrolling, 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 what is going to cause them to stop and look at your video and then actually watch the whole thing? It doesn't have to be a video, but I will say video right now is the trend. But whether it's a picture, video, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you're giving them a compelling reason to stop and look at what you have to offer. And here's a cool thing: you can do it so many ways. You can entertain. Maybe you like to dance. Maybe you like to sing. Maybe you might do a skit. Maybe you just may want to drop some knowledge or education or information. That's one of the things that I like to do. But I try to switch it up because I know that everyone doesn't just want to see information or education all the time. They want to laugh. They want to be entertained sometimes, right? So these things are important to really take in consideration, especially as you plan your business plan, is how are we going to captivate and get marketing out there? How are we going to get people to come to us? And so, like, I mean, you really think about it. I mean, let's just look at an artist. Years ago, an artist had to meet a producer first to be able to be put on to get in the studio and to do some amazing things. But now in today's world, you could blow up on social media and really command the attention of some of the record labels and stuff like that just because of the nature of social media. My point is just that there's tons of people that we know and love, and they blew up because they blew up on social media first, right? I would really have a plan on how you're going to get in front of people, but the key is stay consistent. And consistency doesn't mean you have to do it every single day, although that's not a bad idea. But consistency is just having somewhat of a cadence, like on Mondays and Wednesdays, or on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or whatever, or on Fridays, whatever day you decide, right? But the key is just having some kind of consistency, grabbing their attention, and making sure that you also continue to be relevant, meaning that what worked a year ago may not be the same that works today. So you always want to be switching things up so that you can stay relevant. Because back to my point, people either buy from people don't buy from you because they don't know you or they forgot about you. Well, back in the day, as Grant Cardone shared, Frank Sinatra was the man up until the Beatles showed up, and then the Beatles had a new sound, and Frank Sinatra was still singing the old stuff that he was singing. So he never adjusted to the new sound, and so he stopped getting phone calls. He stopped, being relevant. So that's another big piece, is to get in front of your audience, but then stay relevant enough to stay in front of your audience so that you can continue to capture their attention. So listen, the reason why this is important, because again, as business owners, we want to grow our businesses, and we never had an opportunity like we had before to get in front of the masses. So why would Rihanna do this for free? Well, there's a couple other speculations. I think she's doing a documentary with Apple TV, if I'm not mistaken, and there's some rumors that she may even be doing a tour. Um, but I mean, let's just look at her Fenty brand alone. I guarantee you her Fenty brand is going to go through the roof, and it's already been succeeding. But just because of that exposure, people are going to look up Rihanna, they're going to see what she's all about, and they're going to be drawn to some of the stuff she has. And she's got music, she's got the makeup line, and she's obviously transforming herself. So again, it's just about having something that you can offer to the people who are going to be seeing you, and you're getting exposed to, constantly being in front of them on a regular basis. So listen, I hope you guys got some value. If you're a business owner, I know this is going to really help you. So definitely take heed to it. And listen, can't wait to see you guys on the next episodes. Thanks for tuning in to Code Freedom. See you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value. And definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.